Hey guys, Lancy here, recording a video. Draft leaks. It's Eldritch Moon draft, and let's see what we open. So in this pack, I think the choice is between something like Galvanic Bombardment or Sigardian Priest, and Weaver Lightning are the ones that set out to me when I first looked this pack. The rare Gyre Sanctum is not something that I'm very interested in taking. Marco Crusader is also pretty good if you can turn on the second clause. If it has haste, then it's very good. But as it is, I think Bombardment is one of the best red commons, and Sigardian Priest is up there on in the rank of the best white commons. I think if I were to pick a red card, I'd take Weaver of Lightning here. I've had some experience with this card, and it's just excellent against all those 1 toughness flyers or anything 1 toughness, and the fact that it has reach is very relevant. So I'm going to take Weaver here. And now this pack, let's see, I'm looking at Ingenious Scab, Genius Scab, and Midnight Scavengers are the potential picks. Also, there's Alchemist Greeting. I could stick to my colors and pick Alchemist Greeting here. And that could be just a fine pick, but I still really like the Scab over the Scavengers and the Greeting, just because if you cannot turn this on, the madness part, then it becomes very mediocre. It's like worse than the card in Shadows called Reduced Ashes. And considering that we have a red pick, but we also want to pick something that's high quality in the first few packs, I think I'm going to go with Scab. It's just a very good card. Now we see another Scab, we see a Geist of the Archives. Also, the reason I picked the blue card after this red card is that I think the red-blue archetype is very good. See the rare here, Space Marine, Werewolf, Lupine prototype. The question here is whether I take another Scab or do I take the Geist. I think given that we have a Scab, the second Scab is very tempting. It's close, it's close. I really like the scrying effect of the Geist. I think I might just take the Geist and hope to wheel like something like a Brute or maybe a Certain Death if people don't seem to take it. In this pack we have a Gorgers, which is alright. We have a Spontaneous Mutation, which I think is one of the more unassuming cards, but it does a lot of work in an archetype like blue-red spells. There's also Make Mischief, but that's not something I'm interested in right now. I definitely pick it up if it comes around. So I'm leaning towards the Mutation over the Gorgers. Yeah, I think blue cards is what I want to be sticking with. Alright. Now we see a Fiendbinder, Turnicide is the only blue card, and like a Blood Mist. I think with my experiences, Blood Mist is actually very good if you can get any sort of a presence on the board, so I'm going to take that. And now we're getting past a Brazen Wharf, which is excellent. It works well with all the cards that we have here, except like it's just a solid red common, and seeing it pretty late can indicate that red should be open. But we also see a very late Windball Captive, which is up there with probably the best green common. I'm just gonna take the Brazen Wolf here, and then now in this pack, just the Range Whelp, more uncolored stuff. Leaden Maniac, which is good. Yeah, let's take the blue card. I think the Markov Crusader has wheeled. Do we have any? Do we have any incentive to take the guy Reach Sanitarium? I mean, it is the only card that we can play. I don't think I've ever played Bold Impaler, so maybe we can just take this and hope to get some Madness cards in red. Alright, we could take a Field Creeper, something at least we can play. Desperate Ravings. I mean, Prophetic Ravings seems like a okay card if you, I mean, not for this deck, but if I end up picking up a lot more Madness cards, then it might be worthwhile. It basically turns one of your creatures into a Mad Prophet, and for 1 mana, that's pretty good as long as you get to tap it once and get value from discarding a card, something like that. So we have a pretty good solid blue-red base. What we do need is more actual instant and sorceries, because Weaver Lightning scales very well. Brazen Wolves scales very well with tricks, something like Broad Hostility. And maybe we take Distemper. Just leave it in sideboard. And perhaps some blue Emerge payoff cards. We have Enlightening Maniac. What does this do? That's cool. Let's just pick it. Oh, a Fog Walker. Go into our deck. I've been killed by a couple of Fog Walkers. The Skull's pretty relevant in board states where, say, you ping someone down with an important card like Thermal Alchemist, which we don't have, but if we have something like this, then it incentivizes us to pick up ways to out-tempo our opponents. The effect is quite annoying if you get to hit an actual creature, an actual threat with this. Alright, in this pack I see the potential picks for our decks are, since we're already solidly in blue-red, I see a Dragonder and Vildenpack Outcast, and a Bar Hostility. Out of all of them, I like Dragonder the most because it fits exactly what we want to do. It's tempo positive play, you draw a card, and it both triggers the Weaver and makes something like Genie Scap great. So, hoping to wheel at least a Ball Hostility or a Vildenpack Outcast. It wouldn't be horrible if something like Otherworldly Outbursts is in our decks. Yep. What we're really looking for are the other role player, which is like Thermal Alchemist, or like Makiro guys we see here, but we have been past something like Stromkirk Occultist. I haven't had that much experience with the card, but I have played against it, and it's quite powerful once you do connect with the ability. A 3/2 trample for 3 is not bad, and once you get the Madness, which we don't have right now, but once you get the Madness out, it's actually excellent. And the fact that you have pseudo card advantage makes this the most powerful pick out of the pack. We see other stuff here. We see Prey Upon, some more Stag that can indicate the guy passing to us on the second pack is not in green. We also see a Mercurio Geist that we could probably wheel, and a Grizzle Anger, which is solid card. But I'm just gonna take the Cultist here. Oh, now we have a pick. It's between Brazen Wolves or Thermal Alchemist. Thermal Alchemist is one of those cards that I really like in a blue-red spells deck, and I think given that we don't have one of this already, and we have a Brazen Wolves, it might be better just take the Alchemist and look to pick up more instant sorceries. Yeah, there we go. Oh, now we have the big dogs, or the big wolves, getting past. Assembled Alpha is quite strong once you get to, actually attack with it. It becomes something of a 5/5 unblockable most of the time. And that's not bad for like a 6 mana card. That's not a bad effect when you're trying to get the opponent down to 0 as quickly as you can. The other cards notable here are there could be an Innkeeper we can help to wield. There's actually another Uvumal Captives fairly late. So people on the right, well, people on the left actually, is probably not on the green plan. In this bag I see not much. Probably just the Tattered Hunter, but the Laboratory Brute also is pretty good with something like Spontaneous Mutation. Yeah, the 2-1 flyer just goes well at our plan of getting some damage in. Alright. This one, this pack. Ooh, a Stitch Graft. I had experience with the card, and it does exactly what it says on the card. It taps your guy, and it doesn't untap when you attack with it. But the rate is so cheap on it that sometimes having your guy tap for a turn is okay because you just created like a legitimate threat out of any of your bodies. Like imagine putting this on your 2/1, it becomes a 5/4 flying creature that attacks like once every 2 turns. Still not that bad of a deal, but I guess like the safer pick, or is just to take the solid werewolf. All flip werewolves are pretty good. Alright, now we have a Avenged Switchwing, which is what we wanted in yeah. It's like nothing else in this pack for us, and this is an excellent card. It provides us with ways to dump cards in our graveyard, and just a solid card to say, if we're play this out and gets killed, it's some sort of a flood insurance. We can take inventory and see if we can maybe wheel another one. I don't think we can, but just we're sort of slow on instants and sorceries at the moment, and if we can just fit our deck with a bunch of those, then it makes our Thermal Alchemist and Weaver Lightning much better. I think between Make Mischief and Grizzlangle here, I like to pick Make Mischief because we have so much replaceable 3-drops, and it's not like we have that much colorless creatures to turn on the Grizzlangle to flip. And this, at least we can make, a 1/1 dude and ping something with our Alchemist and Lightning, Weaver Lightning. I'll just take the Fiendbinder out of here. Maybe turn inside for... Oh, now a Laboratory Brute. Yeah. Turn inside for the sideboard, and the Laboratory Brute helps with filling up our graveyard with a Spontaneous Mutation. Makes it better. Prophetic Ravings and a Plains. Alright. Let's see what we have in this pack. How many vampires do I have? Wait, that's a vampire. I just won, eh? I never been impressed with 1-mana 2/1s with slight upside, just because, it's basically like the same as playing a 2-mana 2/1. And this one's just so much better, 2/1 with Menace. And we don't really have any vampire synergies, so not very impressed with the Falcon Wrath Gorger. Probably just gonna take the Uncaged Fury. Uncaged Fury is... At the very beginning of the format, way before Eldritch Moon, I feel like this card is one of those gotcha cards that, you know, sometimes it's just very dangerous for your opponent to have. And I've definitely been killed from, you know, some like 20 or 17, and I've killed people from that same amount of mana before, just because once you have it, and you can get through the damage, it's hard for your opponent to be prepared for it. Just say that. I think here is just the Forge Master, the only playable card here. Maybe we just don't play the Fogwalker. Not seeing a lot of great blue or red cards. We could take an Arsonist, or we can take a Magmatic Chasm. I mean, the Arsonist is fine, but we really want to take... Well, I'm probably just going to take the Arsonist and hope to wield the Chasm. I think the Chasm is a better pick for our deck, but I don't think it's necessary to pick it up right now. Right, now we have... I think Jace's Scrutiny is what we need. There's Jace's Scrutiny and there's a bunch of green and white cards. But Jace's Scrutiny pushes up through damage, trays wall with our cards, and is very efficient at just being an instant. Alright, so there's another Jace's Scrutiny. And I think that's it. There's a bunch of, again, a bunch more green and white, and like Ever After is pretty nice black card. But let's just take another Jace's Scrutiny. Try to build it from here. Restogeneration is what I really like from this pack. We do have a solid creature base, so any instant sorcery now just makes our deck that much better and that much more, you know, streamlined. Ooh, Malevolent Whispers. We still don't have any way of just straight discarding a card, do we? I guess not. Given that, maybe we just want Tormenting Voice. Yeah. Tormenting Voice sounds okay. So what's our plan? We could temple our opponents out with our sick combos, like Harness Storm, casting double Jace's Scrutinies. Nah, not at all. But we are getting some instant sorceries. But then again, we probably have enough already. So either Neonate or Catalog. And just take a Catalog. Take the Scob, slide that in against low to the ground decks. Probably another Scob? Yeah. Triple Scob. Yeah, it's triple Scob. And Lone Rat. Chill. Just taking the rest of the pirates here. So our deck ended up much more mid-ranging than I thought it would get. We have a bunch of finishers like the Symbol Alphas and the Stitchwing, and we also have early plays like the Whelp and the Forge Master. So I think it's quite alright. So let's just group these creatures separately. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ways to turn on Weaver and Thermal Alchemist. It's not bad at all. And I have to make one cut. So this is a 3-drop creature, let's put it that way. And what do I want to cut here? So I like the creature base, I like the non-creature base. And I just need to cut one of these creatures. Think about cutting the Arsonist or one of these 3-drops. Arsonist. I mean, it is okay for a 5-drop, but I think, given what we have, it's one of the weaker cards they can afford to cut. And we have mostly red on the low drop side, and we have 1 double blue card. Maybe like a 9, 8, 9 red, 9 mountains and 8 islands would be good. Alright. And then we can sort our sideboard and see what we can do with this. Alright, so see you guys in the actual games.